Did you ever have the feeling that maybe you just weren't strong enough for this world? That if you could only be more resilient or learn to think more positively, you'd feel well and life would smile on you again? Well, this was me 3 years ago. The irony is, I thought I was on track to feeling well by changing jobs. I'd retrained as a care worker after the retail job that was killing my soul. I didn't know the madness had infiltrated that sector too. I was shoved around, doing the rounds in care homes, part of a chain. We sometimes had to do home visits in only 15 minutes. There was no time to connect or care for the patients properly, and some of them knew it. We were chopped and changed on short-term contracts. I got £8.50 per hour. This was around the time anxiety started to really grip me. The slightest thing would make me so tense. Energy bills had also gone up massively. The one-off government payment wasn't going to help for long. I hadn't heard about time poverty back then, but the stupid thing was, when I was on a contract, I had no time for anything I liked, but when between jobs, I still couldn't recover or do things I enjoyed. I was paranoid the neighbours were judging me for having idle time during weekdays. Welcome to my mind. I felt so crushed by the negativity around me, climate change and all that other existential shit. Hearing friends saying they wouldn't have kids because the future was screwed was just too much. I would browse online shops for distraction, but everyone else's life on socials looked better than mine, which made it worse. I tried to make space for mindfulness, but the darkness kept pushing in, and I couldn't see a way out. I felt empty, disconnected, even from myself. I tried a therapist who said I had depression and anxiety disorder. It helped to an extent, but she encouraged me to go over my childhood, which in my case had been great. What therapy couldn't tell me was that the source of much of my unhealthy thinking wasn't from inside me, but outside. I might have tweaked earlier that the root causes weren't brain chemistry in my case, if I'd known how many people were struggling from the pressures of the system. That winter, I almost completely broke down. The grip felt stronger than me. A turning point was when I found people who had been looking to change things outside, to help everyone be well, now and in the future. They'd seen how hard it was to keep mental health up when you're constantly just surviving. It wasn't my personal failure. The economic system was designed to extract everything from nature and from people like me to make profits, just to keep it growing. These people were trying to put collective care into practice and getting behind the idea of a well-being economy that would work on very different goals and values to the current one. An economy driven by what really matters, ensuring a life of dignity for everyone within the means of a healthy planet. And other needs that are key to mental health, like meaningful work, having time to connect with nature and others, and the right to participate in how things around you are run. It made sense, a system that respects our boundaries and nature, instead of pushing through everything as if nothing is sacred. Where governments and corporations aren't able to use profits and economic growth as an excuse to avoid tough questions, like proper working conditions, taxing wealth to make things fairer, and getting serious about climate breakdown. While learning about how the well-being economy would change the system, some of the changes reminded me of science documentaries I'd seen before I got so sick. New discoveries about how trees interact and share resources with those that don't have enough. And neuroscience films about how we're wired to function together. So I saw through the system, found a sliver of hope, and regained top mental stability, right? Well, no, this isn't one of those endings. I'm out of crisis, untangling what was making me sick from outside and connecting with people living differently. but the system around us hasn't changed yet. It won't be easy. There are plenty of ways the addiction to more has been built into everything. It's going to take time and work from a lot of us to get out of that. I still have mental health challenges, but no longer the iron grip on me that they used to. My anxiety and depression were not an illness, but a response. I've seen collective ways to free ourselves, a clear, precious lifeline.